For what? What's up, guys? Today we're installing colored coolant piping. Silicone shit from China. Took me 2 weeks to get it. Here it is. It does not include the two largest coolant hoses that go to the radiator, so we might paint those, but we also might not because it's really hot. Oh, it's hot. All right, guys, first things first. We gotta drain the radiator to get almost all the coolant out, so when we start popping off hoses, it doesn't get all over the floor. The way you drain the coolant on these Japanese boys is the radiators always have this little thing. You twist that wing nut looking thing, and once it's loose enough, it'll start letting the coolant out of the bottom of the radiator through that little hole. And you just put a catch pan under it, and that'll drain most of your cooling system. Not all, but most. Once you get it start draining, take off your radiator cap, because it's a sealed system right now other than that tiny hole you just opened at the bottom. So as soon as you crack this open, the flow is going to increase. Hear that? It's the sound of success. All right, now that our radiator is drained, we can start finding the hoses that we're going to be replacing. The two that we are not replacing are these two, the big ones that go to the radiator. But this one is getting replaced, and this one is getting replaced, and this one is getting replaced, and the two going to the heater core are also getting replaced. And I think that's about all. So I'm gonna show you guys the best way to get these hoses off, especially if they've been on there for a while and they're hard to get off. We'll start with this guy here. Personally, I like to use vice grips, to be completely honest, because then you don't have to keep the pressure on your hands and like squeeze and also move the clamp at the same time, because if the clamp is being a real you know what, then that just makes it suck real hard. So you get some vice grips, pinch them, you set them, and then you can just wiggle it all you need to. Tip number 2, when you're dealing with clamps like this, make sure that when you release them after they are off of the area of pipe that they are supposed to clamp onto, the tabs you need to squeeze are still facing up, because sometimes you'll forget and then all of a sudden they're facing underneath and you have a real hell of a time getting them back on. So there's that. Now, sometimes these hoses will just come off. You just give them a little yank. This one's not even moving at all. Nothing. That's where you get yourself one of these big old picks. The big pick you can kind of stick under here and break that nasty seal that it's kind of created. And what you want to do is get as much of it under there as you can and then run it down underneath like that, back over the top and down underneath again. See, now I've gone all the way around with the end of my pick and it's nice and loose and it just comes off. See? Look at that. Pretty neat. So now I'm going to do that for the rest of the hoses in the engine bay. Let's go. Alright guys, one of the things you're going to want to do in order to get at one of the coolant hoses going to the heater core is make sure you take out the little 10mm bolt that goes back in there. That little hole in there, you're going to want to take that 10mm bolt out. It's connected to this here heater actuator. This is your heater actuator. It opens up the coolant to go into your little heater core to actually make the air hot before it hits your face. So yeah, disconnect the 10mm bolt that holds this to the firewall. That way you can kind of move this a little more freely and get at these clamps. Alright guys, if you have a hose in a precarious position where you can't get a pick behind it to break the seal, if you have a replacement hose, you can just cut it long ways, like this. Just gonna cut along it, just like that, just one cut. That'll force the seal to break and it'll also make it so you can kind of twist it off. Sometimes you gotta, once you cut it, you gotta pry at it a little bit. Make sure you cut all the way through just like that, and then you just, it'll come off a lot easier. So there's a certain order you have to do everything in. Usually you want to start with the one that comes from here, wraps around and then goes to this side of the heater switch. Second, after that, you're going to want to go after this guy that goes from back here next to the throttle all the way over to here, the bottom side of your heater core. Then after that, you're going to want to go after this tiny little hose here that's just to the side of that big heater core return hose. And that one's gonna suck if it's sticky and on there, because you can't really fit anything in there, and it's just gonna be really shitty. But after that, you're pretty much done, and then you just gotta remember the order in which you need to put them back on. So we'll get back with you once I get this tiny little guy off. Probably gonna use the knife trick and just see if I can fit it in there. Look at this. This came from a small little artery that I popped in my finger. I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this channel, and you're not subscribed. Are you freaking kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? I don't give a shit, it's a free country. But hey, I bleed for you. Alright, anyways, we finished taking off all the old crap. We gotta transfer over all the little hose clips to the new stuff, and then after that, we're gonna start reassembly, which is gonna be a lot easier because we're putting new hoses on, and they're just gonna slide right on, and it's gonna be really simple.
They're just gonna slide right on, and it's gonna be really simple, simple, simple.
Alright fellas, so the kit that I bought, the cheap silicone is a little bit bigger than the silicone you pull off. And so these clamps, these guys, especially on the little hoses, they're gonna be kind of tough to get over the fatter part of the connection that the hose is going onto. So, especially for this one way down here, at a horrible awkward angle, just really crappy, way the fuck down there, use some WD-40. Put some WD-40 on that hose and it'll wiggle right over. But if you don't, it'll get stuck on the silicone and it'll really suck. But make sure you don't get any WD-40 in your cooling holes, because then you'll have WD-40 in your coolant, which is oil, which is bad. What's up, guys? You see this? This hat used to be a lighter shade of gray. You see this? This face used to have a smile. But now it doesn't. You know why? Because these fucking hoses are ever so slightly too big for the clamps to fit over, but ever so slightly too small for them to easily slide on to the fitting. Don't buy this shit unless you have a lot of WD-40, a lot of excess blood in your hands, and a lot of, just a lot of patience. And maybe if you did it in the winter, the silicone would be shrunk, because it is like 100 degrees in this garage, so that's cool. But, dude, these just don't fucking fit right. It fucking sucks. And look at it. Even if I were to clean off all the, like, nasty black stuff, it's not worth it. It doesn't look that cool. And half that shit's gonna be under the air intake. And if you don't have an aftermarket air intake, you won't be able to see any of it. And if I painted this hose, yeah, there'd be one big yellow thing. That's neat. Not really. This is a big old no. Hot or cold outside, I don't care. This shit was not worth it. But now I'm gonna teach you how to burp a cooling system. So that's cool, at least you learned something. Alright, so what I use to burp any cooling system, and by burp I mean make sure there are no air bubbles inside of the system so it functions completely correctly, I use a funnel like this. It's a pretty fancy no-spill coolant filling funnel kit. That's what it's called. A lot of like AutoZone and O'Reilly's sell their own version of it, and that's fine. What it does is, it's got all these different fittings in there. The thing you're gonna wanna do is find the fitting that fits comfortably within your radiator cap spot. I got this little guy. They got little seals on them and then they're yellow. One end goes into the radiator, one end is meant to fit the end of this funnel to create an airtight seal. Put that in, and then they have like different radiator caps that are meant to mimic all the different sizes of radiator cap. This is the one that I need. It goes over this. Tighten it down just like a regular radiator cap, and now it's sealed on there. Put this in here, and then start filling my cooling system. Once the coolant finishes bubbling, just with the engine off, what you're gonna do is turn the engine on, turn your heater all the way up, and turn your defrost on. That's going to cycle everything through your heater core, which we drained here at the very back. And then after that, you let the car get up to operating temperature, make sure that the air is blowing hot, and once the air continuously blows hot without you giving it throttle, your car should be burped alongside this no longer bubbling. Hey guys, I'm all finished up. Noah went to go take a shower, which I am also going to do here pretty soon. But I want to show you guys how this funnel works. Take this little stopper, plug the hole at the bottom, put my lid on so I don't splash when I pull up on it, because it is sealed in there. Give her a pull, minimal drippage, and now this, I just put back into here. And then I just throw all my accessories back in the bucket and put the lid back on. It's pretty awesome. And this is the final product. Looks all right in the back. It's really only this side of the engine that looks any different, but I'm not too upset about it. For 40 bucks, I wish it would have been higher quality, like I mentioned. It was too big when it was annoying to be too big, and it was too small when it was annoying to be too small. But I don't think you can buy this anywhere else, so it's not like I could have got a more expensive option. It just kind of sucks. So unless you really want this, save your money and it's not worth the work. But if you really like the way this looks, I guess do this, bro. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you learned something cool, at least how to bleed your cooling system. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys next time.